we will be busy with the crisis management to guarantee food security in the European Union and beyond, especially the Middle East and the Northern Africa. So I think the main priority is now food security, to increase the production, especially of corn, of wheat in the European Union. I would like to tell people that food security is guaranteed for not only for the next weeks, but for the next months in the European Union. And then we have to see what will happen in 2023. We cannot foresee what is the outcome of the harvest this year. This depends on the weather conditions. It depends on the climate, for example, on rain, if there is rain or not, or do we have a dry weather in the upcoming weeks and months. So this we have to see how things will go on in 2023. We are able to guarantee 100% of food production within the European Union, in some areas even more than 100%, but we are dependent in some areas of feedstuff, so of the ingredients there, and there we have to talk about more independency. For example, in my view, we need a protein strategy for the European Union to guarantee more independency from third countries. What are the instruments we have to use to make life in rural areas more comfortable and more interesting for people to stay in rural areas in the European Union? Rural areas in the European Union are different. They are not all the same. I'm from a rural area, from a really rich rural area in the European Union, but we have a different situation when you look to Portugal or some region in the Eastern European part. We have to guarantee that people, that especially young people, like to stay where they were born. Within the agriculture sector, different priorities are clear when you look in the different member states. In my country, animal production and corn, and in some areas apple production is a priority. And when you go to Spain or Portugal, for example, vegetables and fruits are in some areas the priority. So this is we have to deal with these different priorities in the different countries. Production of fertilizers is always a question of the price, a question of the costs to produce it, and it's clear that in third countries it's cheaper to produce fertilizers. But we have to talk how we can bring companies in a position within the European Union to produce more fertilizer on the one hand, and trying to think about with which third countries we can negotiate to increase the imports of fertilizer. And the third one is when it comes to more sustainability in the European Union in the agriculture sector, we have to think about how we can increase cycle systems within the European Union, for example, to use more manure, more organic fertilizers on arable land. One thing is when we talk about targets, so for example, reduction targets for fertilizer, reduction targets for pesticides. I'm not against this, but we have always to talk about alternatives for the farmers. What we have to bring them in a position to become more sustainable. Not only talk. We have not only to talk about reduction targets, we have to talk about the alternatives. For example, when we talk about reduction of pesticides, we have to talk as well about new breeding techniques, which can be an instrument to reduce pesticides on arable land.